Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And for a few minutes, I want to talk a little bit about Drew Brees and life after football. Now, I know this isn't a topic that most people in the Who Dat Nation want to discuss, but I feel like it needs to be discussed because according to sources, Drew Brees' agent was going around to different networks like CBS and Fox and ESPN. And, he was talking about possible contract negotiations with these networks for Drew Brees to be a color commentator. And we all see how successful people like Tony Romo is right now with CBS and how he just basically is a natural on television. So you have a lot of networks trying to get the services of Drew Brees after he retires. And, a lot of people are wondering, should we think into this a little bit more? And in my opinion, I don't think so. I think we all see that Drew Brees wants to do other things once his career is over. I mean, we see him investing in Jimmy John's, also in the walk-on franchises that's coming and popping up everywhere. And he even said, during some interviews during Super Bowl week, that he would be interested in being a color commentator. And I think Drew Brees would really be a good color commentator. I think he has, a good sense of humor. He's a guy that doesn't take himself too seriously. He's a competitor, but at the end of the day, he knows the game. So I think he will be one of those guys that could be the next Tony Romo. Do I feel like he can be Tony Romo? I don't know, man. Tony Romo is a little bit special, when it comes to that. I mean, you can say what you want to say about him as a quarterback, but man, you can't really knock him as a commentator. He's one of the best. But I think that Drew Brees can give him a run for his money because Drew Brees, I think when Drew Brees is dialed in and he's focused and he's determined to do something, he's going to do it, man. He even talks about like how he goes throughout life with a chip on his shoulder, man, and he likes having the chip on his shoulder, and overcoming certain things. And when people think that he can't do something to prove them wrong, so I'm interested to see what's going to happen with this, but that's not a surprise. I don't think it's going to be an indication that he's going to retire this coming off season or anything like that. I really believe that Drew Brees is taking the time out to spend time with his family. I mean, he talks about like how from year to year, if the Saints end up, getting eliminated from the playoffs or don't make the playoffs, he goes right back into it, trying to get back or get further than they did last year. So he wants to take the time out, spend time with his family. He wants to coach his son's football team. He wants to, play around with his daughter and stuff like that, do tea parties and all that. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I think we all as parents, we want to spend as much time as we can with our children. So I really take Drew Brees and him really considering retirement serious, but I don't think he's going to retire. I think that Drew Brees still wants to play. I think he wants to play to lift the Lombardi one more time. And not to mention, he loves the fact that his kids can go into the locker room and meet their heroes. And if Drew Brees just so happened to make the Pro Bowl like he did this year, they get an opportunity to meet all the other football players from other teams. So you can tell it means a lot to him that his kids can go out there and meet their heroes. But I would love to hear from you. What do you all think about Drew Brees and life after football being a color commentator? Do you think, that he will be a good commentator? Comment down below, like and share this video. This has been a State of the Saints podcast. And also check out the State of the Game podcast that's also available on YouTube.com. YouTube.com, search the State of the Game podcast. And also subscribe to this YouTube channel. And also Facebook.com, search State of the Saints podcast. And Facebook.com, search State of the Game. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?